Another thought, following a little bit on Dr. Bregman, maybe we should say in the second sentence, in the exercise of their duties, such inspectors and their supervisors shall have the power to arrest and detain for criminal violations. Because I don't think people ought to be arrested for, not checking some box on some form. A regulatory violation is distinct from a criminal violation. And so the extreme power of cuffing and stuffing somebody should only be for a violation of the criminal law and not just a regulatory problem. And then another thought I had, ironically, the DUI thing is a good analogy, and that happens right next door all day long. DUI hearings, when you're charged with a DUI offense in Colorado, you've got two parallel processes normally going on. You've got the criminal stuff where you show up in county court and maybe go to a jury trial, maybe not. All of your due process and constitutional protections attach. Then you've got this administrative DUI hearing that police participate in normally. And in that capacity, the police officer does not shed his identity as a government officer. I mean, he still has to comply with the Constitution. He can't grab you and beat a confession out of you. I mean, you still have your Fifth Amendment rights. Even in that administrative DUI process, even though the law says a driver's license is a privilege, not a right, even in that process, the police officer is still a police officer and still must follow the dictates of the Constitution. So that's kind of an analogy of maybe one way to help us think about how this is. Licensure under this is a privilege, but at the same time, just because it's a privilege doesn't mean that cops get to depart from their constitutional responsibilities.
And I don't disagree, and I don't think that's what this is saying, but again, I welcome if you've got language.
Okay, yeah, I'll think about that a little more.
But the criminal portion,
yeah,
the specific portion, is that something that is considered, be considered today? What each, as far as adding the wording, the criminal aspect as opposed to separating out regulatory versus criminal?
It's important to know that the regulatory violations are criminal.
Gotcha.
Okay, so, I mean, they are criminal in the statute. So,
well, violations of the statute are misdemeanors, but violations of these regulations are not necessarily criminal violations.
Yes, they are.
I mean, we don't say that in these regulations. I don't think we have
any violation. Well, and we can go back and maybe that's something like for our next meeting if you research that. But I believe they are, and we'll wait for the issue.
Yeah, I'm not sure that was what the legislature intended. I don't think they intended if you didn't file your form on time, you're a criminal.
I think the statute says it, but
I'll research it also.
I mean, I'll give you a specific example with the deadlines you're dealing with right now. It's an unlawful offense. I mean, but I don't think anyone is, or unlawful act rather, but I don't think anyone is going down and hooking up someone who didn't file the form on time.